the Rose Bowl between number 1 Indiana and number 9 Alabama. Let's talk about it. So the quarterfinals are here, and this will be the third quarterfinal game we will see at 4 p.m. in the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California. As always, Alabama versus Indiana. And if I would have told you 2 years ago that this would be a playoff game in the Rose Bowl and Indiana would be favored by a touchdown, I would call you insane. This game, I think, is insane. The over-under at 48.5. Indiana is very, very heavily favored in this game. They have a 71.4% chance to win this game compared to Alabama's 28.6 with the ESPN matchup predictor. The spread opened at 6.5. It climbed all the way up to around 7.5, and now it's climbed back down to 6.5. So still around a touchdown money line at minus 238 for Indiana. So if you want to make some money on betting Indiana, you better bet a lot. Obviously, don't bet anything you don't have. But how do I see this game going? So also, I made a video about Ohio State, Miami. I'm going to pin it right here. I released it yesterday. It's a good video. It's actually blowing up right now, so that'd be cool if you go watch it. Remember, hit the subscribe button. I'll try to get to 100 subs before the end of the year, of the college football year season. That would be great. And leave a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win this game? Remember, hit the like button. Hit the like button is, I'm pretty sure, how YouTube promotes the video with like retention time. But the like button, it's free, doesn't cost anything, and I would greatly appreciate it if you did do that. But going back to the game, this is going to be interesting for Indiana because obviously last year, all the bye teams lost. And Oregon last year, who was the number 1 seed, 13-0, Big Ten champions, played Ohio State and got blown up. Obviously, I don't think this Alabama team is what that Ohio State team was last year, but Indiana's been off for a while. They haven't had to deal with a loss. They've had some close wins, but Bama coming off of the win over Oklahoma, they have some momentum. They're coming at 11-3, so they've had multiple losses. Obviously, the week 1 blowout against Florida State, then the loss to Oklahoma, then the blowout loss to Georgia to end up 10-3. Then they get revenge on Oklahoma. So that's how they got to their 11 wins. I don't think there'll be as much distraction for Alabama as people think. I know a lot of people are talking about the Michigan hire. Well, Michigan has found their new coach. I did a short about it. I will do an entire video about Kyle Whittingham when contract details come out, and then when I can kind of gather my thoughts about it. There really isn't that much information out right now. I don't even think he's officially hired. I think they're just planning on hiring him. But when it comes to the Tide, they looked dominant at certain times against Oklahoma. They really jumped on Mateer late in that first half and really jumped on Oklahoma. I think there was some sloppy play. Obviously, the fumble on the punt, the pick six, and there were some big plays on offense where Oklahoma's secondary just kind of crumbled a little bit. But also Bama, man, early in that game, they just kept shooting themselves in their foot. I'm going to be honest. I know this isn't a road game like it was for when it was in Norman for Oklahoma in the first round. But I don't think you can go down 17-0 in the first half and then come back against this team. So I need to see Alabama play well. I do think they'll play better than how they played last week, and I actually do think Indiana will be a little bit sluggish with the time off. I think it's kind of just inevitable. I think all the bye teams will come off sluggish. The only one that I would say maybe not is just Georgia, just because of the level of defense Ole Miss has. But I do think this will be a somewhat close game. The big question is Alabama going to be able to run the ball? Because they were not able to run the ball against Georgia or Oklahoma the past couple of weeks. Even when the first time they played Georgia and the first time they played Oklahoma, still couldn't run the ball then. So, like what I said for Alabama when they played Oklahoma, can you get 3 to 4 yards per carry? Jam Miller, is he in? Is he out? Do we really know? Not really. He's been very like, he's not hurt, but he's also not playing a lot. He's like only getting like a third of like the running back snaps in that Oklahoma game. And I think you do need to be balanced to beat this Indiana team. You look at what they have on defense, especially up front. They're not like, there's no big name recruits. I don't think they have a single 5-star on their roster. But they're very disciplined. They're very gritty. I'm not going to say talented, but they're very gritty and they're very sound. I think Bama out-talents Indiana by a mile, but also Bama has a lot of weaknesses. This Indiana team is very complete. And I think that overall will allow Indiana to kind of grab a lead and probably hold on to it. I don't trust Indiana and Fernando Mendoza to not play completely clean the fourth quarter, though. Yeah, it was on the Ohio State game, but also they were winning the whole time, and Ohio State did nothing on offense the entire day. So I think that'll be a really big story when it comes to Fernando. When, let's say you're down 3 or you're down a touchdown. This game reminds me exactly of the Rose Bowl 2 years ago between Alabama and Michigan. I think this game is going to be very similar. I think it's going to be somewhat low scoring. I think Bama is going to have some big plays and capitalize on Indiana when they come off a little bit sluggish since the entire month gap that they've really had off. Have not had all the time. They've been practicing, and you heard Kirk Cignetti at the end of the Big Ten Championship saying, well, we got 3 weeks to keep my guys humble and ready for the playoffs. I'm like, oh, okay. Again, Kirk Cignetti has never actually won a playoff game before, so don't expect he's just going to win the national title. But I do think I would be comfortable leaning Indiana when it comes to most categories. Defensively, probably go with Indiana. Quarterback, probably go Indiana. Offensive line, go with Indiana. Running back, go with Indiana. Receiver, probably go with Indiana. Kicker, probably go with Indiana. In almost every category, even tight end. I kind of lean Indiana everywhere. And I think their coach is better. I think Indiana is better. It's weird because they're not more talented, but they are just better everywhere. So, obviously, Indiana is a very, very talented roster. But talking about not PFF, the blue chip ratio, Indiana is not very talented. And that aspect is what I'm more talking about. I'm not saying that Indiana is not a talented team. They are. So I guess let's talk about some keys for everybody. So first for Indiana, play complete. And play balance. Don't get away from what's gotten you here. Indiana is not the most flashy team. They're not going to win 42-10 against good opponents. Against bad opponents, they will. But against good opponents, they probably won't. This game will probably be around a touchdown, maybe a field goal, maybe even 10 points win. I don't think Indiana is going to win by 17. They are going to need to run the ball. I think they'll be able to. Are you going to be able to get a performance out of Charlie Becker like how you did against Ohio State? I don't know. That'll be a question because obviously is Surratt, every player is not going to be on their best day, having their best game every single day. So if Surratt maybe isn't playing well or if Roman Hemby are not playing well, can Keelan Black really step up? Can Charlie Becker and Amar Cooper really step up? Amar Cooper had that phenomenal catch against Penn State to win the game in Happy Valley. Is your second level guys, are they going to be able to step up? And then on defense, do not let Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, and Ryan Williams get behind the safeties. Obviously, Ryan Williams really struggled with drops, so maybe it's more like a Jeremy Bernard and an Isaiah Horton thing. And also, Lazira Brooks. He had 2 touchdowns against Oklahoma. He was the leading receiver in that game. Do not let them get behind the safeties because Ty Simpson can sling it. And Bama's not great at run blocking, but they can pass block. Obviously, it wasn't great early in the Oklahoma game, but also Oklahoma is one of the best defensive lines in the country. They can pass block, at least most of the time. So I worry about if Bama can get 2 to 3 really, really big plays, maybe that might be too much for Indiana. I don't know if Indiana is able to come back from a double-digit deficit. Obviously, the Ohio State game, the Oregon game. Actually, I think they led most of that game. The Iowa game, the Wisconsin game. All of those deficits are a touchdown or less. None of them are, maybe like one of them, but none of them are like, especially in the big games, they're not huge deficits. Penn State was a single possession, like less than a possession game. I think it was like a 4-point lead in the fourth. So just be able to contain this offense. I would not worry about playing man. I would probably play zone, 2-3 high safeties most of the game. And I would probably rush 3, have a linebacker kind of be that fourth rusher, kind of caging, kind of spying. Just because I don't think you have to key in on the run at all for Alabama. I think your front 4 or your front 3 with a linebacker behind it, spying or whatever, I think that is enough for this Alabama run game. And the more guys you have in coverage, the more guys you can send back, the more you can confuse Ty Simpson. And Ty Simpson has, he started off 21 touchdowns to 1 interception, has really kind of I don't want to say regressed just because it's been a year. Be like, well, like a month ago he was the Heisman, he's really regressed in a month. I'm like, I don't think he's regressed in a month. I just think he hasn't been playing well. And even though he played well in the second half against Oklahoma, even in that first half, it was tied, but 10 of those points came on very short fields or a pick 6. So I think you can really confuse him. I think, obviously, whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this game. That's I'm not saying much by saying that, but I think if you can get 2 interceptions, 2 total turnovers, fumbles, whatever, 2 turnovers, it could be turnover on downs, fumble, interception, whatever, blocked field goal, missed field. I think 2 turnovers that result in 0 points or points for Indiana, not for Alabama. I think that you will win that game. I think you will 100% win that game. For Alabama, yeah, can you get the running game going? Can you get your receivers behind the safeties? And can Ty Simpson just play clean, not hold on to the ball forever? Obviously, before the Oklahoma game, really struggling with the herniated disc. And now it seems like he's better. He did not look super injured against Oklahoma, but obviously you could be playing through pain. It could get re-injured during that game, so we'll see. When it comes to my prediction for this game, I think this game's going to be close. And when I think this game's going to be like Ohio or Michigan, Alabama, I think it's going to be exactly like this. I think this game is going to be like 20-10 going into the fourth quarter. Indiana leads. Bama gets a field goal. It's 20-13, and then last second they score a touchdown. It's 20-20 going into overtime. Bama kicks a field goal. I think Indiana scores a rushing touchdown, and I think Indiana will win 26-23 in overtime to face the winner of Oregon, Texas Tech in what we think is the Peach Bowl. I think it is the Peach Bowl. So yeah, I think this will be a great game. I think this will be a good Rose Bowl. I think it'll be better than the Rose Bowl we got last year. Obviously, for me, it was great. But for anyone else watching, probably wasn't that great. And I'm really excited for this. Bama, they will fall to 11-4. Yes, you got to 11 wins, but you have 4 losses. I will see what they think about Kalen DeBoer. Obviously, I think if you get 11 wins, you win a playoff game. Even the SEC championship, you were severely injured. I think you will be able to. I'm not gonna say fire anybody. I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, I'm super excited for this game. Remember to hit subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so you Alabama fans and you Indiana fans will get the notification when I release my reaction video for this game. I know all of you guys will really want to see that. And obviously, for any of the other games I'm going to be posting, obviously, tomorrow it will be, let's do Oregon, Texas Tech, and then Tuesday I will do Georgia, Ole Miss. But remember, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win this game? And let me know what you think the score is going to be. The closest person to that score prediction, I will actually pin in my reaction video. But I will see you guys all then. And as always, of course, thank you.